Alrighty, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another recap yet again. It's the 28th of August today. I appreciate all the support we are getting, by the way. It has been really good. Like, it's not obviously a crazy amount, but it is consistent and it's good to see. But we're going to get straight into this. Today we took a loss, about $180 on the funded, so we pretty much lost what we made last night in New York. Which, look, I'm not too bummed about at all. I was on the wrong side of the market, that is clear. And I'm going to go over what I saw and what I should have been seeing, but I was blind to because of my bias. So this is a thing I struggle with a lot, and a lot of people do as well. And I know it holds people back from profits, but it's having a fixed bias and not actually being able to change that depending on what's happening with the markets. So let's hop straight into replay, and we're going to go... So this is in Tokyo time, so you can see that. First thing is, what I want to go over is, what are we looking at on the higher time frame? So it's going to look a little, what's going on here? It's going to look a little messy. I'm just going to get rid of it, yes, for a second as well. It's going to look a little messy, but what have we got here? So first of all, we've had this massive leg come higher. Now, yes, we have an SMT between these two, which actually was the New York high, previous day high. Now, the thing to consider though is we've got this leg, we've inversed one gap, we've inversed the second gap, and we also, we have no hourly structure, no higher time frame structure to build off of. So the highest time frame I was looking at was the 30-minute, 15-minute. As you can see, we inverse here as well, like quite aggressively after respecting it. So instantly in my head, I was like, okay, we're going to be bearish for today. That was just my idea. And we have what I thought was a bunch of low resistance liquidity hanging here. Like if I scale down, you guys can see, like this just looks like easy targets right now, easy money, all of these lows. So I was like, okay, probably going to be shorting. Instantly Asia opens, we get a manipulation higher, tapping us into, pretty sure we ended up coming into this 15-minute gap if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Yeah. So we tag into this 15-minute gap. I'm like, okay, cool. High time frame PD array, beautiful. Yes, we're respecting down here, but I wasn't really concerned about it. And this is where I went wrong. I was so driven on the fact that we were shorting because we had this SMT at previous day high. We had the inverses occurring. I was like, yeah, we're going to come take this out. But I was blind to the fact that we just had an internal sweep tagged inside of a first presented 15-minute gap and had a very, very good rejection. A very bullish rejection. Nothing I should be trading against, which is where I went wrong. So if I go down to 30-second time frame, we got a gap here. We ended up inversing this. Where is it? Not here. So bang. So we end up inversing this 30-second gap here. And I was like, perfect. Everything is checked. We actually had an SMT on lower time frames as well. So we had a 15-minute gap, SMT on lower time frames. The only issue and the only thing I was missing is we didn't have a clear sweep. This was a continuation trade, yes, but what have we got here? Relative equal highs. What is this? Low resistance liquidity. So the liquidity that I'm shorting away from is just waiting to be taken right here. We've taken out our draw on liquidity here. So the next draw is here. So shorting here was my biggest mistake. I was shorting at an area which did not need to reverse yet. And as you can see, we end up running in a little bit of profit close to the TP area, and then we end up just reversing and going straight to SL. Now, I actually ended up getting out where I say exit here because I knew as soon as we inverse or go almost to inverse this gap, I want to be out of the trade. We're going bullish. So that was the first position. Unfortunately, that one lost out. But yeah, we lost the 180. It was honestly all just driven by the fact that I had the wrong bias. You can see here now, we didn't even let the 15-minute candle close, which would have inversed, right? Lots of things went wrong there. What I could have taken instead, which is what I was eyeing up originally, was this. I didn't take it because I was so thought on the fact that we were going short. So I was like, why would I try to look at long confluences? But it was this 5-minute inverse right here. So we had the inverse occur at a pretty good spot as well. We could consider this protected as we had a stop trade because the bodies close under this low. We also took out this low here. And then, yeah, we could have just targeted the equal highs. You guys see, watch this. Banger trade, right? You could have targeted heaps higher with this as well. Like actual banging trade. Anyway, that's what I missed out on. I ended up trying to hop into another position. I will quickly show you guys what this looked like. So we tagged into this first presented 5-minute. I still thought this was going to be protected and we weren't going to come up this high. We were also inside of OT. I don't really use it too much, but it was a good confluence here. And we end up then coming up and re-sweeping this high. And we get this 1-minute gap. Now I've got some interest in this gap because it was coming off the manipulation high. The only thing that worried me is we didn't close yet. So it's not a confirmed stop rate. Now you can see, I think we close, yeah. So we end up closing that high. So now I'm confirmed that it's a stop rate above these highs and we're probably going to come a little lower. Now, what do we have low? We have an unfilled 15-minute gap that we could draw to if we want to go long. So I was like, okay, still with a short bias for some reason. Don't ask why. I get we inverse this 15-minute gap. I was still short. I was just fixed on it. Anyway, we then get a few rejection candles out of there. And then I'm pretty sure we just dump through. Yeah. So I got my entry around here. I think I waited for a pullback. Got it around here. And targeted just the 15-minute gap. So it was just pretty small, under 2-hour trade. We ended up getting pretty good displacement and we got these equal lows here. Ended up going break even there and then bang, straight to break even. Didn't do much. We just chopped around, right? And we would have got stopped out. So 2 trades, 1 loss, 1 break even, all because I was so fixated on going short when we were clearly longing. So what's the lesson here for me? Well, I should be considering any options in a market that is higher time frame chop, such as this. Like, look at this. This is just chop. In a market that is just chopping on the higher time frame, I should be considering either longs or shorts. When we have both draws of liquidity, previous day high and previous day low intact, it doesn't really matter what confluences I'm getting. I should just be worrying about what's happening with the opening price. So Tokyo opening long and disrespecting this 5-minute gap, like pretty much instantly, gives me the hand that we're probably longing. Then I should have looked for the draws of liquidity, the first presented 15-minute gap. And then these equal highs, such an A+ trade. I'm like kind of annoyed I missed it. I'm very annoyed I missed it because it's so obvious. And I was just blinded to it. But I don't know if I showed the P&L yet, but this is the P&L, negative 189 on the day. We ended up 400 on the account for the week. So we ended up taking it from a $500 loss on Monday. So then we recovered the account, which is really, really nice. So nothing to be mad about today. I think then we end up pretty much just chopping around. We edged previous day high twice. And now if I leave this replay, yeah, you can see we're just dumping. So this would have hit TP, although we clearly want to come up a bit higher. ES already took this high for the day as well. So you can see here we got that massive SMT. So yeah, overall, that's the trade. A bit of a longer one today, 9 minutes. I kind of ranted on a little bit, but I wanted to really go over why being biased locked is such an awful thing when trading. Like, you have to be so open. Look at the higher time frame and just figure out, okay, yeah, we're bullish on the higher time frame, but on the hourly, like on the 4-hour, we're bullish. Hourly, yeah, we're bullish still, but we're just chopping. So I should be open to anything, right? And when you get a session open that starts disrespecting PD arrays that were previously respected, you should instantly assume that, okay, we want to go in that direction. So yeah, that's the lesson that I'm learning today, is not to be so locked on one bias and sort of be open-minded. And I'm glad I cut my losses short. Like I knew when to take it out early and when not to leave in, when to go break even early, for instance here. So I was still monitoring the positions closely, but yeah, overall, good week. We're up 400, so I can't complain. 2 more days and a few more good wins, and we can get payout. But yeah, that is going to be the video today. Let me know if you guys took any trades in Asia. If you haven't, oh well, try catch New York tonight. I won't be trading because I've already taken my 2 trades. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next recap next Monday if we trade.